The United States is preparing to strike Iran as soon as this weekend. According to latest reports, Donald Trump has reviewed plans to strike Iran, has approved preliminary plans to strike Iran, but is currently holding off to see whether or not Iran will on its own abandon its nuclear program. Meanwhile, preparations are ongoing at the highest levels of government across federal agencies for a U.S. strike on Iran. Now, here's what this would look like. There is one nuclear facility, the Fordo nuclear facility, which is literally Iran's gold mine when it comes to its nuclear program. It is built meters down in the ground within a mountain. And the only country that is able to get to that facility and potentially destroy it is the United States, because it has 30,000-pound bombs known as bunker busters that could get in there and destroy the facility. Now, Trump is weighing whether or not to do this. And while he's doing it, Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff has been in constant communication with Iran's foreign minister. That is the highest level of talks that the United States has had with Iran in years. So this is significant news right now. Trump's patience with Iran is growing thinner with each passing moment. Now, before I continue, please consider subscribing to my Substack by clicking the button below to support my work, or send a donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. I woke up with a major backache and I lost my mic, so I'm just doing my best here. But please bear with me. It's going to be a very long news day. Bloomberg is reporting that Donald Trump's rhetoric on Iran is hardening. Why? Because he's listening to allies like Senator Lindsey Graham. Now, if you know anything about Lindsey Graham, he is one of the biggest war hawks in the United States Congress. He has been a big advocate for striking Iran for a very long time, and now he is telling the president to finish the job. In addition, Iran overnight has launched a missile attack on Israel, heavily damaging a hospital in the south. Iran claims that its target was a nearby military-linked technology park, but the missile did strike a Israeli hospital. In response, Israel struck Iran's Arak nuclear facility. Israel's defense minister vowed to intensify strikes on Iran, saying its supreme leader cannot be allowed to continue to exist. The U.S. Embassy in Qatar restricted personnel from the air base and urged Americans in Qatar to remain extra vigilant. Iranian police say they arrested 24 people accused of spying for Israel, and Lithuania will be evacuating diplomats, families, and non-essential staff from Israel after an Iranian missile hit Tel Aviv's Ramat Gan neighborhood. In non-Iran news, NBC is now reporting that Donald Trump's new phone, the Trump phone, which costs $499, will be manufactured in China. A CBS News investigation found that 2/3 of countries losing FEMA storm prep funds backed Trump in the 2024 election. Former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Bridget Brink entered the Democratic primary for Michigan's 7th congressional district. The Federal Reserve kept interest rates unchanged at 4.5%. The Trump administration is cutting funding for the Trevor Project's national LGBTQ plus suicide hotline, and it'll shut down in about 30 days on July 17th, forcing at-risk youth to call elsewhere. The Trump administration has also instituted more, or is planning on instituting more tariffs, and as a result, home goods retailer At Home has filed for bankruptcy, citing the tariffs. A deal with lenders will erase most of its $2 billion in debt and provide $200 million in new funding to keep operations running during the Chapter 11 process. A respected Oregon vineyard worker and small business owner was detained by ICE in Oregon, leaving his family, church, and local wine industry reeling. Friends and colleagues condemned the arrest as inhumane, highlighting the heavy reliance of U.S. agriculture on undocumented immigrant labor. The State Department will now require foreign students applying for educational and exchange visas to unlock their social media profiles for vetting, allowing diplomats to review online activity for hostility toward the United States, terrorism support, or anti-Semitic conduct. Critics say the expanded screening is done to target opposition to Israel's war in Gaza, signaling out Chinese students. Mayor Bloomberg added more funds to the super PAC backing Andrew Cuomo in the New York City mayoral race. Election is on Tuesday. A new report warns that climate misinformation driven by fossil fuel interests, politicians, and online bots is increasingly obstructing climate action. And a SpaceX Starship exploded during a routine test in Texas, with officials citing a catastrophic failure as the rocket prepared for its 10th space flight. That's all the news right now. If you want to support my work, as always, subscribe to my Substack by clicking the button below, or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron Parnas, and I'll see you again this evening.